I.S.U.P.K.
Things that you would use to saddle up and take care of, it will be taken away, man. They stole the horses, they stole the donkeys, everything that you needed to survive on your day-to-day life, they stole it. If you are Black and Hispanic and Native American and you wondering why life is so much of a struggle, why you have all these bills, why there's the gas and the light bill, the insurance, the utility bill, the insurance, and getting back and forth to work, and mortgage and rent, like everything that you need to survive, these people stole it. And they make life so unbearably difficult for the sole purpose of destroying us. That's the purpose. You understand? If you are already the richest and the most powerful, why would you need a crumb from everyone? You'd still be the richest, right? Why would you oppress the people that are the poorest in the land? Like they specifically target our people. Why? To destroy us. This is what they've done since they've been here. The only way that they are in power is because they continually destroy our people. If we turn back to the Lord and obeyed Him like it said in the Bible, and we got in the I.S.U.P.K. and build up our nation, America would fall. We wouldn't celebrate their holidays. We wouldn't commit their crimes. We wouldn't be a part of their voting. They would get no support from us beyond us having to do a slavery or some sort of job for them for money. All of the wealth would stay with each other, and every other nation of people would lose millions and billions of dollars, and they would go back to their country because there would be no money for them to make in our neighborhood. You understand? But none of this would be possible if Christopher Columbus did not murder the Native Americans and steal this land. Keep going.
Taken away from before thy face.
Meaning you're going to watch some animal. You're going to watch these people steal everything that belongs to you. And that is what our Native American brothers, they've watched the so-called white man steal everything. Even so much as the last Mohican is damn Kevin Costner. Chuck Norris is damn Christopher Columbus' great nephew. But Chuck Norris put up some money and now he's a Cherokee Indian. Now Cher's a Cherokee. Johnny Depp put some money in the tribe's books. Now he's a damn Indian. Right. Like they've been able to steal our identity and just say, okay, I'll be them now. Right. I'll be the Mohicans. I'll be the Cherokee. Right. I'll move on the reservation and I'll get all of the grants that are supposed to go to them. I'll steal that too. Right. Like these are godless savages. These are animals, our slave master. They don't have consciences. They don't have pity. They don't have remorse. They don't have empathy. They only care about themselves. You can't change them. We've tried. You can't sing. You can't join them. You can't protest with them. You can't love them. You can't take care of them. Right. You can't marry their woman. Both of them, Gene liked white women, and that white woman murdered him. Right. Trayvon Martin's father liked white women, and a white man murdered his black son. Right. You understand? O.J. Simpson liked white women. You understand? See all the trouble that caused him? Like the Lord is telling us this. Keep going.
And shall not be restored to thee.
Meaning our land was not going to be restored to us. That's what the Lord is saying. Like we're not going to get this back. This land is polluted. The Lord is going to destroy America.
That's right.
Like if you Native American and you marching, you trying to restore America and get the land back, I feel for your pain. I understand. But God is going to burn America to absolute dust.
That's right.
You are fighting a cause that at this point is against the Lord.
That's right.
Like you trying to get America and restore America and get the land back so that the Lord is going to destroy this land. This land is cursed. It's plagued. God is going to burn it to the ground. This is not our homeland. Our land is in the Middle East. The Lord is stirring up World War III, which is why Turkey just invaded Syria, and Saudi Arabia and Korea and China and Russia and America get ready to get thrown in the mix in just a minute. That is our land. Like we've been so stripped of our identity, following behind customs and traditions that do not come from the God of our forefathers and our ancient customs. We don't even realize what's going on in the world.
Right.
We still having marches about, trying to get our slave master to look at us as human beings while they celebrate Columbus Day and Thanksgiving. You see what I'm saying? So keep going.
Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies.
Meaning your enemies are going to get your sheep. All of the cattle, everything you're going to use to feed yourself, your sheep, they're going to take it and feed themselves. They're going to own the companies that you need to get cotton. You need to get wool sweaters and shirts and socks and hoodies. They're going to own it. They're going to steal your sheep, and then we're going to have to buy from them after they murder us and steal our sheep and our buffalo.
That's right.
That's what the Lord is saying. Keep going.
And thou shalt have none to rescue them.
Nobody's going to be able to rescue your sheep. Nobody's going to be able to rescue us until we turn back to the Lord. Keep going.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
This is slavery, man. This is the Indian boarding schools that the Catholics, they would kidnap Native Americans off of the reservations after they'd already made a deal and stolen the land. They pushed them into the projects, man. The reservations is the damn projects. It's a damn jail that they house the Native Americans in. It just doesn't have bars on it. It's a prison. Meaning I stole your house and I have this closet for you to live in. It's a walk-in closet and it comes with a front yard and a backyard. But don't worry about all of this land I stole from you. Just be happy living in this closet. That's what they do. That's what they did and still do to our Native American brothers and sisters, man. Keep going.
And thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all day long.
All day we're going to be looking for our children. They did this, they doing this now to our so-called Hispanic brothers and sisters with the INS detention centers. They did it to our Native American brothers and sisters, which they're still doing now, kidnapping them all off the reservations. Them sisters going missing left and right. Nobody reporting on it except the I.S.U.P.K. They finding sisters in rivers and ditches and gutters with their organs missing. You understand? They did the same thing to so-called our people. The Bahamas had a flood. They doing the same thing, man. They wouldn't let the parents on the boats in the Bahamas when this last hurricane hit. But now they got children in a makeshift orphanage after they done took the children from the Bahamas and refused to let the parents come with them. Like our slave master separates families. That's what the so-called white man does. They break up and destroy families. You understand? That's why they tell sisters to leave their man. Tell a black woman to abort her baby. They are against life. You understand? Rather than let things live, they'd rather go and kill it until it's all gone. And then after they've murdered everybody, they'll say, well, we need to remember the legacy of what we just killed off. Let's remember the great wolf and the rhino and the buffalo and the dodo bird after they've murdered everything to extinction. You understand? So, any more on that?
Come.
Go ahead. Finish it
And
up.
there shall be no might in thine hand.
Meaning we wouldn't have any strength in our power to save them. Our brothers and sisters fought. They fought as much as they could. But in the end, these were curses that the Lord put on us because we refused to obey the Most High. Give me Exodus, hold that, give me Exodus 21:16.
Oh God. Exodus chapter 21 verse 16.
Go ahead.
And he that stealeth a man.
The Lord said if you steal a man, like our slave master stole these kids stole our Hispanic brothers and sisters, stealing brothers and sisters coming from El Salvador and Mexico and Guatemala and Honduras, like they stole so-called African Americans, stole us, you understand, from our land. Not that we were Africans, because the Africans and the Arabs sold us to the white man, but they stole us, you understand? They stole Native Americans from the reservations. They stole them from the tribal lands and put them in Indian boarding schools. Beat them, tortured them, raped them, stripped them, humiliated them. You understand? To this day. And then you wonder why our people are strung out on heroin, strung out on alcohol, strung out on drugs, after hundreds of years of being murdered and victimized. That's what this Columbus Day. You think of this every time you hear Columbus Day or Thanksgiving. Every time you see that American flag, you remember this. Every time you hear our founding fathers, my country 'tis of thee, all men are created equal, a post-racial era, you think of this, man. Keep going.
And selleth him.
And selleth him. They sold our people, man. They still selling our people. Keep going.
Or if he be found in his hand.
Or if we be found in his hand, meaning you stole us, and then you get caught, we still in your hand. Like we have your names. We had to take on your culture and your customs. Otherwise you'd kill us. You'd castrate us. You'd amputate our limbs. You'd burn us alive. You'd hang us. You'd make us watch while you raped everybody. The men, the women, the children. You executed entire families to torture and scare to hell and frighten everybody into taking on your culture, man. That is Christopher Columbus. That's the legacy of the Quakers, the Pilgrims, all of these settlers and colonists that came to our people. That is the legacy of the so-called white man that you see today. These are his forefathers. Keep going.
He shall surely be put to death.
God said this is a death penalty offense, man. The Lord is not excusing this. The Lord is not letting this go just because it's in the past. That's something a disgusting Christian says. Leave it in the past. There's no leaving in the past for the Alamo, for the Revolutionary Wars, for 9/11, for the French and Indian Wars. They remember Greece, ancient Rome. They remember Egypt. They remember everything. But when it comes to so-called Native Americans, blacks and Hispanics, you're supposed to leave that in the past. That's ancient history.
Right.
That's an evil thing, and it's very Christian. You understand? The Bible doesn't tell you to forget about the past. The Bible says, consider the years of many generations and remember the days of old. Ask for the old ways. You understand? That's what God said in the Bible. You understand?
That's right.
Any more on that?
No, sir.
All right. Go ahead back. Take me to the next scripture there.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 33.
All right.
The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
Meaning a nation you don't know is going to eat up everything in your land. All the corn and the maize and the carrots and all of the fruits and vegetables, all of that belongs to the so-called Native Americans, the so-called Mexicans, who are the natives of Texas and the West Coast. All of that belongs to them. Those Pueblos, the Olmecs, the Toltecs, all those descendants, the Cheyenne, Arapaho, Navajo, Lakota, Shoshone, Cherokee, Choctaw, Seminole, all of that belongs to the Osage and the Oglala and the Wampanoag, you understand?
Right.
All of that belongs to the Iroquois, you understand? The Dakota. That's who these things, the Pueblo, the Zuni, and the Hopi, all of that belongs to them.
Right.
A nation, meaning the word nation in the Bible means a race of people. Meaning a race of people that you don't know about, they're going to eat and steal everything on your land. And nothing will be left for you, to the point where you will be living in the worst land available in the land that all used to belong to you, starving to death. This is what they do to our people. Any more on that?
God. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
Always oppressed and crushed. On the reservation, still being oppressed. Still being starved. Still being starved, man. Still being oppressed. If you starve you to death, beat you, tear down your culture, then kidnap your kids and torture your children. forced them to throw away their heritage, man. Then have a day of celebration all throughout the year for this Columbus Day. Then honor the murderers of your people, man.
Right.
Then say liberty and justice for all while you starving to death in the ghetto or in the reservation, the INS detention center, at the same time saying all people are welcome. That's oppression to crush our people, man. They give you crack and heroin after they make your life a living hell and murder all of your family. Now you left with nothing but drugs, but depression, but suicide, but poverty, but heartache, man. If you a Native American, you get in this I.S.U.P.K, man. You come get in the U.P.K, man. You come get in the U.P.K and put your spirit back on, man. America is built to destroy our people. We got a spirit from the Lord that the Lord want to put in you to bring you back to life, man. Right now, our people is living in absolute horror and hell right now. And don't nobody want to talk about it except the prophets of God in the I.S.U.P.K, man.
That's right.
Keep going.
Verse 34. So that thou shalt be mad.
You will be mad. You will be driven out of your mind. Our people are mad. That's why they're getting high all the time. That's why they're fighting, shooting, and killing each other, because we can't get justice for anything that has happened to our people. Keep going.
Right. For the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see.
You're going to see, it used to be beautiful green trees and fruits and land and everything and cattle and buffalo. Now you're going to see fire. You're going to see miles of dead buffalo carcass rotting in the sun, wasted meat, wasted flesh, extinct species of animals. The land is poisoned. The water is poisoned. The air got chemtrails. The food you can't eat. Everybody that would be strong and proud and full of life is now bent over and sick, full of cancer, full of AIDS, full of heroin, full of crack, sitting in prison and in jail, man. We're going to be absolutely mad for what we're seeing and how our people have been destroyed because of our slave master, like Christopher Columbus, like Donald Trump. Keep going.
Verse 35. The Most High shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs.
In the knees and the legs, man. You're going to be suffering knee pain, leg pain. Our people were healthy before the white man came. Wasn't no cancer. We didn't have gouts and strokes and heart attacks and herpes and AIDS and syphilis and gonorrhea and cancer. We didn't have no damn allergies. Our people were healthy. The land was clean. The water was fresh. The earth was pure. The food, the fruits. It was much more hospitable than Europe, where they left, where those people had destroyed their land. And they came here and destroyed this too, and destroyed our people, the tribe of Gad. Keep going.
With a sore botch that cannot be healed.
A sore mark that can't be healed, man. All kind of scabs and things. What is the biggest sore botch that cannot be healed? Sores, the smallpox that they gave our brothers, man. These white people came and gave blankets filled with smallpox to the Native Americans. Chemical warfare. It spread like wildfire. Just like that, entire tribes, entire cities, entire towns filled with life, filled with families, filled with mothers and sons and daughters and wives and grandmothers, all dead. Smallpox give you rashes, permanent sores, horrible fever, nausea, vomiting. You understand? They did chemical warfare on top of murdering our people with the saber and the sword and the cutlass. Put them in slavery, man. Christopher Columbus took brothers and sisters, slavery, back to Seville, Spain. He put them in ships, you understand, and put them in ships and took them to slavery in Spain. They would take Native Americans from this land to the islands to beat and torture them until they became Christian and Catholic. They took the Taínos, when Columbus arrived, took something like 10,000 back to Spain to be in slavery, and I think something like 7,000 or 8,000 of them died. And he said, that's good business. Let's keep it going, man. The transatlantic slave trade. Like, they did this, and they still do this to our people, and you should not let this go if you love your people. Right. Keep going.
From the sole of thy foot, Salaki, and with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy land, the top of thy head.
Sores everywhere, man. Plagued our people. All of this is prophesied to happen in the Bible. You think you're not an Israelite, you a Native American, you think you're not an Israelite, you don't know the Bible. You don't know the ancient history of your people. You may know the wood and the eagle and the wolf and the totem pole, all of these silly things that our people look to trying to get strength from dead spirits. All of that nonsense comes from ancient Egypt. That was never our culture. That was the culture that we took on following the other nations that were around us. And because we took on those cultures, the Lord sent this animal to destroy our people. You understand? Keep going.
That's it.
That's it. What scripture was that? 36?
35, sir.
35, okay. All right, go ahead, take me to the next scripture.
Psalms chapter 10, verse 8.
Psalms 10 and 8. Keep going.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
They would sit outside the villages. They're hunting our people, man. They hunt the very steps of our people. Keep going.
In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
He secretly murdered the innocent, man. If not for that sister having a camera, Amber Geiger would have got away with murdering both of them, Gene. That sister filmed him. Not only did they fire that sister, she lost her job as a pharmacist, she lost her license and her private business because she dared, you understand? She dared to try to stand up for this dead brother and get justice as he being murdered by this white woman, by this oppressor, by the slave master's daughter that Kanye West and Wiz Khalifa love so damn much, that Tiger Woods and O.J. Simpson love so damn much. You understand? That Venus Williams and Serena Williams and Eve love the slave master so damn much that they're going to go and marry him and have babies for our slave master. That sister lost everything. This brother lost his life testifying against the Dallas police, who obviously would have had something to do with getting this man murdered, testifying that one of their officers committed a murder. It's blatantly obvious. It's more believable than that story about drug dealers leaving Louisiana to come to Dallas for weed and not taking the weed.
Right.
It's absolutely foolish, man. You may think you're doing the right thing. Get in the I.S.U.P.K to get the Lord on your side. It's not enough just to do the right thing. That's not good enough. It isn't enough to know what the Lord said to do in the Bible. You have to follow the men that the Lord set up. That is a commandment in the Bible.
That's right.
And if you don't get in the body and follow the man that the Lord set up, which is Commander GEN.YAHANNA, you are without the Lord's protection. Even if you believe you are doing the right thing, which you may be, the Lord is not with you. The Lord is not on your side. And it doesn't matter to anyone until our people show up dead. That's when it matters. This is an animal that's hunting our people. That's sitting in the lurking places of the villages, murdering innocent people. You understand? Murdering babies and children. Like they murdered an 8-year-old sister of the tribe of Zebulon from Guatemala. Shot this baby in the head, man. Right. And that ain't the first one. Like they molesting our damn children in these INS detention centers. They can't even speak English. They go to court. Damn, what is his name? Senator Dash or Rush Limbaugh. He said, well, they ain't like they're real children. These aren't our kids. These aren't our kids. They're not from Texas. These aren't real people that's being molested and starved to death. These aren't real children. These are some alien children. You understand? Like these are rats or something like that, or the damn goldfish in the tank. Like lives don't matter to them until it happens to their children. You understand? Any more on that?
His eyes are privily set against the poor.
His eyes are privately set against the poor. You understand? He's looking to see how to conquer the poor. That's why abortion is targeted to our people. That's why weed and crack and heroin was targeted on our people. That's why the police drop guns off in the ghetto and then act like they don't know how everybody ended up shooting each other. After they starve you to death, and they show you to be a drug dealer and a gangster. And they wipe out your culture and your heritage, so you take on their heritage. Then you become a drug dealer and a drug addict like they told you. Then they give you guns. Then you go and be the gangster that they told you to be. Then they say, see, look at these people, they animals. We got to tear this neighborhood down. We got to wipe them out. We got to put them in prison. Then they look like the hero when they lock up all the gangster bloods and the vice lords and the Crips and the MS-13 and the Latin Kings everywhere. They say, see, we solved the problem. It was these people. And then they convince you to think in your Christian mind that our people are the problem too, when it's our slave master and his culture that is the problem, which is why we should not take his culture like celebrating Columbus Day.
That's right.
All right, let's speed up to get through these last few scriptures, all right?
Go ahead. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49.
Go ahead.
The Most High shall bring a nation against thee from far.
The Lord said a nation would come against us from far. The word nation means race. The entire race of the so-called Caucasians came against us. Germany, Italy, France, Spain, Portugal, Great Britain, England, Wales, Ireland, Spain, all of them came against us. This was the entire race came against us. You understand? Not one or two. Their whole race descended against us. You understand? The Dutch too. The Dutch, Belgium, they ain't excluded. You understand? Keep going.
From the end of the earth.
The end of the earth. Why does it say the end of the earth? Because they believed that the earth was flat. That's why it says the end of the earth. Only one people believed the earth was flat. The Bible tells you the earth is a circle. Our slave master said that the earth was flat. That's why it says from the end of the earth to identify what people this is talking about. Keep going.
As swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as the eagle flieth, you understand? And whose bird is the eagle? That's the symbol for all of the so-called the Europeans. France had the eagle. Germany had the eagle. The Third Reich with Hitler had the eagle. Belgium had the eagle. Germany, Rome had the eagle. Italy has the eagle. America, the great bald eagle. It's on the back of your money. It's on your dollar. It's on the postal truck. It's called the Great Seal of America. The U.S. Capitol. You understand? All of that is the eagle. That is the symbol for this nation that believed that the earth was flat, that you would fall off. That is the symbol. This is the Bible prophesying and describing who would come against us. The people of the eagle to this very day are still oppressing us. You understand? Keep going.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Meaning you're not going to understand their tongue. When they came, they spoke Latin. Our people didn't understand Latin. They read a document called the Requiremento, meaning that if you stand on any land and read this document, that means that by right of this legal document, that all lands that the person reading it stood on can be claimed by right of the crown and in the name of the Pope, in the name of the Queen, so that they can take the land and enslave all the people in the name of Christianity, Catholicism, or the crown. And they used and read that document, and they took everything. Our people didn't understand English, didn't understand their French, didn't understand their Portuguese, their Spanish, their Latin, their Dutch, their German, and this people's tongue we did not understand. Keep going.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance.
I mean, their faces were fierce, man. They looked so nice and sweet and docile with pink cheeks and so nice, but that's really an animal.
Right.
Becky that you love so much that you want to stroke her hair in the courtroom, Becky is Amber Rose. You understand? Becky's an animal. Becky's a monster. You understand?
Right.
You looking so nice and sweet. That's Jeffrey Dahmer you looking at. That bowl cut, nice and Duggar and Hunter, that's Dylan Roof. He's going to go in a church and shoot up a church and kill pastors and old ladies. Right. You understand? He's going to hunt young black boys and gun them down. Right. You understand? He's gonna molest people. He's gonna kidnap and rape children. Those popes you seeing with the nice, beautiful robe that speak words smooth as oil. Isn't that what the scripture said? Right. The words of their mouth is smooth as butter. In the name of the Father, the Son, God, and the Holy Spirit. Oh God Almighty, God. So nice and smooth. That's a child molester.
Right.
That's what you're seeing. That's a man who's going to take your sons, take your daughters, and force him to commit sexual acts against his will.
Right.
You understand? That's where Eddie Long learned it from. And then they're going to grow up, and then your sons are going to wear dresses.
Right.
And they're going to get fake breasts implanted in them. And they're going to wear dresses and lipsticks and get purses. And they're going to have sex with older men who are child molesters that are also Christians. And they're going to give them AIDS.
Right.
Like the AIDS rate is sky high in Hampton Roads in Washington, D.C.
Right.
and Atlanta. That's filled with churches. That's filled with child molesters. That's filled with AIDS. You understand? Filled with lesbianism and homosexuality, which black people would not be a part of this LGBT community if not for all the child molesting Christian preachers and R. Kelly's and Bill Cosby's and pastors in our community, and the elders on these reservations that are molesting everybody. You understand? Molestation on the reservation is like after Tuesday comes Wednesday. You understand? You guaranteed to get molested if you were a child on the reservation. Damn near. Why is that? Because we done took on the culture of our slave master. The Lord told us never join another people. Keep reading.
Which shall not regard the person of the old.
They're not going to care about the old. They're going to kill an old man. Keep going.
Nor show favor to the young.
They're going to kill the kids too. That's what the Lord is saying. This is what Columbus did. This is what is still being done to our people to this day.
Right.
Any more?
Come.
Keep going.
Verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
Everything. The fruit of your cattle, your kids, your calf. He's going to take all of your beef, all of your cattle, all your steak. He's going to live good off of what you would need to feed your family.
Right.
Like the original cowboys was Native Americans and black men.
That's right.
Now there's a white man with cowboy boots, with spurs, with fringes, with cowboy hats. You understand? And he's going to be the cowboy now.
Right.
He's going to rustle the buffalo. He's going to ruffle the Angus, and he's going to control the beef. When all of that belongs to the Native Americans.
Right.
Keep going.
And the fruit of thy land.
Everything the land produces, they're going to steal. All of the grapes, tomatoes, and strawberries, all of the grocery store, all of the wealth from all of the food that is grown and produced here in America, all of that belongs to the Native Americans and the so-called Mexicans who are the natives of Texas and California. All of that belongs to them.
Right.
But our slave masters stole it, thanks to Christopher Columbus and Amerigo Vespucci and George Washington and Andrew Jackson and Thomas Jefferson. You understand? Those founding fathers you love so much, they're animals. They're murderers, they're animals. And without the murder of the North American Indians, none of this would be possible.
Nobody tell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it works out.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues for this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain, something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword.